Welcome back to Footballology. So I know right now it's draft time, and a lot of people are focused in on the draft. But I've been paying attention to a lot of these offseason acquisitions that a lot of teams have been making, as far as free agency, trades, and things of that nature. And I really felt like this video was necessary. Like it's been more unnoticeable this year, I guess you could say, than it has been in years past, as far as the league being a copycat league, which we all have heard it before. You know, the NFL is a copycat league. Whatever works for one team, another team tries to do it or replicate it in some kind of way. And when that happens, what ends up happening is a lot of other teams start to catch up to the new idea, and it's no longer a secret. So does it work the same? Anyway, so in this video, I kind of want to go over some things and what I've noticed this year and what I've noticed in years past. As you know, or as you can notice by the title of the video, the Roethlisberger Effect is what I want to call it. And so I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get into it.
Drop down and shake it, shake. Drop down and shake it, shake. Drop down and shake it, shake. Drop down and shake it. Drop down and shake it, shake.
The reason why I'm going with the Roethlisberger Effect is because, for one, it sounds cool. I don't know why, but it's the one that kind of resonates with me the most. My football knowledge kind of dates back to 2000. Anytime before that, I was really kind of like iffy about football. I really didn't love football at all. I had nothing. I didn't want anything to do with it, anything at all. But so from the year 2000 up until today, I've been paying attention to anything NFL and everything NFL, and I've been following it religiously, honestly. So there are probably some other names out there and other players that have been affected by this or this has happened to that a lot of players or a lot of people know. So if you know somebody, drop it in the comment section and let me know. But so we're going to go with the Ben Roethlisberger Effect for now, for today. And what it is, in my opinion, and what I came up with is you draft a young quarterback and you have a defense in place and a run game in place that he can rely on and not have to do too much. Ben Roethlisberger won his Super Bowl his second year in the league, his first Super Bowl. And it wasn't because of him. If you go back and look at his stats, which I did, his stats wasn't eye-popping by any means. But you did see the year or the progression over the course of his year or the course of his career from that point on. And what you notice is that the year that he won the Super Bowl, he had a stellar defense and he had a good run game. Not a perfect run game by any means. Willie Parker ran for like 1,200 yards, and Jerome Bettis kind of just was the bus, you know? And with all that being said and all that happening, it didn't make Ben Roethlisberger develop too fast. He went out there, and his primary objective was not to lose game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's what he did, honestly. He went out there, he put up, I think, 2,600 yards and 17 TDs that year. And so he didn't do anything in the regular season that was gaudy by any means. But what you notice is that it helped the Pittsburgh Steelers win a Super Bowl. And it was something that they really wanted. They just needed a quarterback not to turn over the ball. And a lot of teams that have won Super Bowls in years past have had quarterbacks like this. But the thing is with Ben Roethlisberger is he was in his second year in the league. So you knew he could only get better with time. And with all the pressure and all the everything, even though he was a first-round draft pick, but without all the pressure and everything, he didn't have to go out there and perform like a true number one overall pick, like an Andrew Luck, like a Peyton Manning. He wasn't trying to save the franchise. He was just trying to help the franchise. And that was the difference that you noticed there. So we fast forward a little bit. We fast forward to Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson, he also won the Super Bowl his second year in the league. And what did he have? He had the run game. He had the defense. He didn't have to do anything. Didn't have to do anything too much. Just went out there, not lose ball games at the quarterback position. Once again, you start to see the progression from his career from that point on. You see him progress. And then you see the Seattle Seahawks try to develop and grow around him. And so basically what you have here is the Roethlisberger Effect is what I like to call it. Teams that have then seen or noticed the success of the Pittsburgh Steelers from that point on decided to go that route and decided to go ahead and take you look at, obviously, Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, they didn't really develop the team to be that way. It just kind of happened for Joe Flacco. Matt Ryan was supposed to be the next person to happen to. When you think about Matt Ryan was supposed to come in, they end up getting Michael Turner that offseason to help him develop. The defense wasn't there, and that was a problem why the Atlanta Falcons didn't go to the Super Bowl right away. And you've seen the defense that this previous year that they had really helped them out a lot. So basically, it's a copycat league. People notice success and they kind of try to go with it. And all in all, at the end of the day, defense wins championships. Let that be known. So now I want to fast forward to this offseason, 2018. And what you start to see is the copycat effect, or the Roethlisberger effect, if you will. You've seen that last offseason that we've seen the progression of Jared Goff towards the end of the season. The Rams will want to know how can we get the best out of Jared Goff and make him be the best quarterback for the Rams. And what can we do? We got a running back in place that we know can be good, Ty Gurley, so we don't have to worry about that. Our defense can be good, but it's not there. But we really need to focus in on the development of Jared Goff. Go out and get Sean McVay, offensive-minded coach. We go in and bring in any weapon that we can get our hands on, Robert Woods, Sammy Watkins, and Cooper Kupp in the draft. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go get a left tackle on Andrew Whitworth to bolster up our offensive line just a little bit because we still got to protect the quarterback. Let that be known. You have to protect the quarterback, and a lot of teams don't understand that for some reason. Don't know why. So all that coupled into Jared Goff having the year that he had this year, and Ty Gurley just being the running back that we knew he was. The same thing happened for the Philadelphia Eagles. We've seen Carson Wentz has something. Doug Peterson's the right head coach for us. We're going to stick with him. No need to change that there. Carson Wentz started to develop a little bit, but he didn't have the weapons around him. Our defense is good. I think the Philadelphia Eagles defense is really above average, but it's just because they have the front seven, or the front four, in my opinion. I'm not going to say front seven. They have a really clean front four that is just dominant, and that really helped them throughout this whole playoff run and throughout the whole season. And so what you've seen then is that, well, we're going to surround them with weapons. What can we do? Hopefully the development of Nelson Aguilar, which was something that a lot of people didn't see coming, me being one. The development of Nelson Aguilar really helped in this situation. We go out, we give Alshon Jeffrey prove it to his contract. He signs it. Who else did we have there? I feel like there was, we get a receiver in the draft. Mac Hollins, I think it was. We know what our tight end position can bring to the table. We're going to trade for Jay Ajayi. We got LeGarrette Blount we brought in. And so we got to get Corey Clement out of the, or get a free agency undrafted. And so basically what it came down to is that we're going to try our best to surround our young quarterback with weapons. We have a good offensive line in place that we know we can trust and do not have to spend much money there. Unfortunately, Jason Peters go down, but it obviously didn't affect him by any means. But so basically year 2 for Jared Goff and Carson Wentz was mind-blowing, exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles wanted. Now, unfortunately for the Rams, they didn't have the defense in place, and that's what you're starting to see this year. And that's, another story for another day, but that's where they're starting to build their team at. Philadelphia Eagles, let's retain as much as we can and be the same team as we was last year, and let's hope for the best from that point on. Torrey Smith, that was the other Philadelphia Eagle they brought in. I can't remember for some reason. Okay, so now we got this offseason. So now you see guys like Mitch Trubisky, which I just don't think Mitch has it. I don't care what weapons you surround him on. But the Chicago Bears, what do they do? All right, we got Jordan Howard, good, clean run game there. Tariq Cohen is going to be our specialty offensive weapon, which I think nowadays teams need it. You just need that guy that can just swing the pendulum with just a little bit in your direction. We go out and we sign Allen Robinson, which we know that he can be a top 10 receiver in this league, if not top 15, but can be a definitely dominant number 1 receiver in this league. Hopefully the development of Kevin White, which once again could be the equivalency of Nelson Aguilar. We just don't see coming. That can be something worthwhile. They go out and get Trey Burton, which we know he can be a mismatching tight end. That's going to be really nice for them. And we're just going to consistently keep surrounding. And I think they signed up like another 2 receivers. So basically their whole primary objective this offseason, bring an offensive-minded coach and Matt Nagy. We're going to surround our young second-year quarterback around as many weapons as we possibly can, which, I mean, granted, they need it. I'm not going to say they didn't need to do it. They needed the help. So they surrounded them with many weapons as they possibly can. And that's pretty much what happens, Same thing for the Chiefs. The Chiefs are doing the same thing, which irritates me. But we're doing the same thing. We go out and get Sammy Watkins. We got Travis Kelce here. We got Tyreek Hill. I can't talk. Kareem Hunt. I say that in air quotations. Chris Conley is supposed to come back. And so we're trying to surround our second-year quarterback with weapons. It's just the copycat league, and I hate it. I really do. Because sometimes what happens is just because it works for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Everyone has their own path and their own journey. And it's so funny watching teams kind of copycat other teams. And the Roethlisberger effect is real. It's a real thing. But the thing is, teams are not using the real, authentic Roethlisberger effect. build a defense that you can rely on, and bring in a young quarterback that he doesn't have to do anything but play a not perfect game, but just don't mess it up for everybody. Take care of the ball, hand the ball off like you're supposed to. Like I wrote down here in the playoff run that the Pittsburgh Steelers went through to win the Super Bowl, they were running the ball, averaging 33 runs a game, 35 runs a game. And Ben Roethlisberger was passing anywhere from 20 to 25 yards, 25 attempts a game. That's the key to winning a championship, realistically. Running the ball and playing defense. And it's so, I don't know if, I guess monotonous is the word. It's just so repetitive is that people consistently keep saying it. And for some reason, somehow, it gets lost in translation. And people just really don't want to do it. Don't care for doing it. They don't care for building a good defense that can take you to the next level. Or they don't care for having a run game that can be dominant come December, January time. Just people don't care about that. So with the Roethlisberger effect, all that being said, technically, realistically, these are names that I actually truly have wrote down. Teddy Bridgewater was supposed to go to the Super Bowl and win it, technically. He had his defense. He had a run game that was supposed to be in place. Freak injury, couldn't do it. But the Minnesota Vikings were supposed to be in the Super Bowl, technically, by this formula. Technically, Deshaun Watson should win the Super Bowl this year, technically, by this formula and this everything in place. Now, granted, the Houston Texans doesn't have the run game that I think is going to take them to the next level. But I say that, as I say that, I just remember they got Foreman that's coming back off of injury. And that's a guy that can definitely he can swing it into their favor. Like Braxton Miller, D-Hop, Will Fuller. Deshaun Watson is supposed to win a Super Bowl this year because he's supposed to have the defense and he's supposed to be there. Technically, the way things are, Blake Bortles should win the Super Bowl this year. Has his defense, has his run game. And he should have technically went to the Super Bowl this year, or this past season. But, Tom Brady and the Patriots did what they did, and Tom Brady's Tom Brady. So I'm just saying the Roethlisberger effect is that you build your defense and you get a run game. That's the true Roethlisberger effect. The copycat league, or the copycat effect, if you will, is something that is just not going to be real. It's not going to ever win a championship, in my personal opinion. I just don't see it ever winning a championship. It's impossible, in my opinion. If you really want to win a Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowls, because Ben Roethlisberger does have 2 Super Bowls, you build a defense, you get yourself a reliable run game, and you ride it on out. You ride those next 10 years out, and hopefully come at the end of this 10 years, you got 2 to 3 rings. You got 3 appearances like Roethlisberger. You got 2 rings, and you can call it a career. And hopefully there's some team out there, which you look at, Tom Coughlin and the Jaguars, they know it. They know what the Roethlisberger effect is. We got a stellar killer defense. When healthy, the best defense in the league, hands down. We have a young running back that has shown some signs of he can get banged up. Hopefully that, they get him in a 1-2 punch, and that'd be okay. And if Blake Bortles can understand how to play, at this point in his career, he has to play like Alex Smith. You can no longer be the deep ball shot guy. You can no longer be that guy. But all you have to do is take care of the ball and don't mess it up for everybody else. That's Blake Bortles' primary objective at this point. You're not out there to win ball games. You're out there just not to lose them. Deshaun Watson's in a perfect situation to still develop himself as a quarterback. I can take my shots. I can learn the game. And eventually one day I can be the guy with the ball in my hand with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go and know for a fact that I can help my team win the Super Bowl. I just feel like the Rams are poised to do something dangerous this year with the free agent acquisitions that they have done. The Philadelphia Eagles, it's going to be extremely hard for them to repeat because the target is so big on their back, and they're an above-average defense with a quarterback that hopefully can come back and be the same level he was, if not greater. And for the teams that are following in these 2 teams' footsteps, Chiefs, Bears, who else do I have wrote down? Chiefs and the Bears are the only 2 I feel like are really kind of doing it, I guess. But for those 2 teams, they're hoping that these young second-year quarterbacks are going to be able to come back or this following season and do what a Jared Goff or a Carson Wentz has done, you're wrong. You're kidding yourself, because now the NFL knows who you are. The NFL knows what you're trying to do. And I say that because you never base a guy's career off his first year or his second year. It's always his third year when you know who he's really going to be. The third season is when you know who the player is exactly going to be. Because the first year, one or two things are going to happen. The league either going to eat you up and you're not going to expect it, or you're going to take the league by surprise and destroy it. And that was proven fact. Ty Gurley and Melvin Gordon's first year. Ty Gurley first year, oh, wow. Okay, you're a good running back. We got you next year. Melvin Gordon, nah, you ain't good, bro. Go sit down somewhere. Year two, Ty Gurley, we got you. We shut you down. Melvin Gordon, oh, shit. Okay, I guess you are a decent running back. Year three, they're both right where they need to be. And so when it comes down to it, when it's all said and done, never base a player's career off of the first 2 years of him being in the league. Base it off his third year. By the time your third seasons roll around, you should have an identity of who you are and how to attack the league and know how to keep the league off your back. And if you can't do that, then you're just going to get chewed up and spit out, plain and simple. That's the way I look at it. And so for the Chiefs and for the Bears, the league is understanding now. You load up your offense for these young quarterbacks, and we're going to come in and we're going to eat you up. And like, that's it. We're going to take your young quarterbacks and we're going to make sure they can't develop into the guys that you're hoping that they can become. Mitch Trubisky, he's going to get ate up, in my personal opinion. Pat Mahomes is going to hit a brick wall harder than he ever expected to hit. But I think his talent level is going to keep him in the league longer than it should. And I just think that's what it comes down to. Some guys just don't expect it. Some owners, some GMs don't see it, and I don't know why. They don't pay attention to it. I don't know. Now I'm just rambling because I'm really deep in my thoughts, and it frustrates me. All right, that's all I have for you guys in this video. I'm going to get my draft videos out. Don't worry, I got you. But I just really want to get this video out, the Roethlisberger Effect. Won 2 Super Bowls in 10, or I guess technically he's been in the league for 14 years. But I say 10 years because, 10 years is a good career for a quarterback. Get 2 Super Bowls in 10 years, that's not a bad deal. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to Footballology, become a Footballologist today. And stay safe, football fans. See you next time.